Hey, who's ready for Purim in the shtetl? Oh, if I were a rich man, I would serve not kasha and borscht, but I'd serve some big, juicy roasts. Guess what, fellas? The roasts are going in the oven now. They're going to cook slowly. They're going to be juicy. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow evening at Purim in the shtetl. Be there or miss out on some of this good, look at that, herby, good saturated fleisch. Ah, geschmack. So it's 11:27 p.m. Purim night, Tafshin Pei 2025, and the moon is eclipsed. There you go. There are some clouds passing by it, thin clouds, but that is the moon, and you see a small sliver of light, and that is the story of Purim. God's hand is not openly visible in the miracle. The fact that Esther ended up being queen, the fact that the Jews prayed, all of those little details is really God's hand, but it's a little faded. You don't see it so openly. And that's the story of Purim. Look at that, Hashgacha Pratis. Once again, God's hand showing itself in the lunar eclipse on Purim night. Right. I don't know if it's too early to say happy Purim, but happy pre-Purim. Just coming to you with a weekly Torah thought here from City of Hope. Just wanted to share something about the Megillah. It says, after the whole miracle, after the Jews were saved and they were able to obliterate their enemies, it says a verse which we actually recite in Havdalah every week. La Yehudim haisa'ira v'simcha v'sasrikar. The Jews finally had light, joy, gladness, and glory. And the Gemara explains that the word Ira is referring to Torah, that they were able to study Torah again. In fact, Haman had banned the study of Torah, and Mordechai courageously defied that order and continued gathering Jews together, learning Torah together. Then it says, Ora zu Torah, Simcha is Shabbos v'Yom Tov. They were able to celebrate the holidays once again, Shabbos and the various holidays, and Sasan Zumila, which is circumcision, and finally Yakar, which is Tefillin. And the Rebbe explains in his Purim talk from 1968 that Tefillin stands out amongst the other four, whereas the other three, you want to study Torah, do your little holiday thing, you want to circumcise your children, that's your own business. But there's something about the tefillin, the fact that we put it on, and as the Talmud says, when we put the tefillin on, it causes the nations of the world to fear us, and it's really a statement mitzvah, and that's something that really gets all the anti-Semites very, very upset. And the antidote to anti-Semitism really is to not cower in fear, to not listen to the orders and the dictates of all those who hate us, but on the contrary, to stand up proudly and defy any such hatred by doing the exact opposite. So my friends, if you are a Jewish male over 13 years old, make sure to put on tefillin, especially coming up to Purim. It's a special time to do that, because you want to fight anti-Semitism regardless of Purim, any time in the year. If you feel like there's too much Jew hatred out there, the antidote to that is Torah, Jewish holiday celebrations, Milah, Tefillin. This is the way we do that. Wishing you all a early Shabbat Shalom and happy Purim. Right. Oh boy, they say the Talmud can get pretty heavy. And that's before you even open it. And once you open it, it gets really heavy and intense. With the head scratcher. And sometimes the necessary book lift. And of course, the famous hand motions. But the truth is, learning Talmud can be quite enjoyable. Indeed, quite geschmack. Talmud is kind of like a Jewish GPS. Lots of rerouting, but eventually it gets you there. And let's be honest, it's not that complicated. It's just 63 volumes of rabbis busy saying, well, it depends. Now on the lighter side, would you like to lift this? Or this? This is what we'll be learning on Wednesday night. Join us for Decoding the Talmud at our new 6-week JLI course. Dinner will be served. Oh boy. Hi, I'm Rabbi Stiefel from Chabad of Arcadia, and I just wanted to give a big shout out to Holy Smokes Kosher Barbecue, who donated all these meals, which we've been giving out. People have been stopping by our house the entire evening, picking up meals. I've been delivering meals around town. People are so grateful. You know, I just stopped by somebody's house. They just had their evacuation order lifted. They're literally with the garage open, kids, getting into the house. Gave them 4 meals. They were so delighted. They just got home and they have no dinner plans. And here they are, with fresh, kosher, hot meals. And thank you very much to Holy Smokes. And if you're in need of a meal, come on by and please enjoy. We're happy to help. We're thankful for those who have pitched in to make this possible. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon. Happy Thursday. Coming to you with a weekly Torah-thon. Taking a break from the campaign. We're now at City of Hope. There's unfortunately quite a few patients here today. We needed some care and support. But I'd like to talk to you about this week's Torah portion. Parshas Vayishlach. This is the grand showdown, the meeting of the two brothers, Yaakov and Esav, who haven't seen each other in some 30-something years. Esav tried killing Yaakov, he had to run away, etc. So Yaakov knows that the animosity might be still latent in his brother's heart. And so he prepares himself for this meeting. He first sends a bunch of gifts to his brother, staggers them so he gets a constant flow of gifts. And he begins to pray. After 10 years here in Arcadia, we are finally ready for the next step. It's time for us to go big, to expand. Baruch Hashem, we're looking at a potential storefront to be a visible presence right in the center of Arcadia. But we can only make this happen with your help. So let's go big together. Let's make a brighter future for Chabad of Arcadia.
Josh, where are you going? Come on, man.
This is the real deal.
Then we're ready to go. These guys are not in the photo. We need to, yes, the whole back, please take a step back. Please take a step back. Everyone, please take a step back, please. Take a step back, another step back, please. There's tons of space. There's tons of space. All the shluchim on my right, please take a step back. Take a step back. There we go. Perfect. Behind the bench. I want to be able to see all the wonderful shluchim. Please stand behind the bench. I know the flights weren't cheap, so if you want to be in the photo, behind that flight, behind the next pole, behind the bench. And then we're ready to go.
Afternoon and happy Thursday. Come to you with a weekly Torah thought from City of Hope.
This is none of my affair. Yeah, well, it's between you two now, little sister. This no job is
Afternoon and happy Thursday. Come to you with a weekly Torah thought from City of Hope. I'd like to talk about empathy. This is related to the JLI class that I gave last night on the topic of relationships. One of the key ingredients to a healthy relationship, especially one that fosters connection and closeness, is empathy. And it actually connects to this week's parsha, when the angels came to visit Abraham after his bris. It says, Vayisa ina vayar, he lifted his eyes, he saw, and behold, there were three men standing in front of him, and he saw and he ran towards them. Notice how I said, and he saw, vayar, twice. And the commentaries tell us that actually the reason why it says that he saw twice is that the first time was he observed. In other words, he gathered the data. He saw the facts that there were three men standing there. But the second vision, the second seeing, was that he perceived, he understood, he saw that they were looking for something and how they need to be helped, and he went ahead and he helped them. And this really teaches us a lesson in empathy, about caring for others. And I'd like to share a quick story about the Rebbe Maharash, the fourth Lubavitcher Rebbe. As with all the Chabad Rebbes, they'd often see their disciples in a yechidus, which is a private audience, and they'd have scheduled times when people would line up, make an appointment, and come in for their audience. And the Rebbe Maharash had an assistant who, every once in a while, he would ask him to bring him a change of clothes. The reason being is that he would sweat profusely, especially during this time. And it happened at one occasion that the assistant was waiting outside his room, and after just 1 hour of these audiences, the Rebbe Maharash came out, and he had seen maybe 25 people over the span of the hour, maybe 2 minutes each person or so, and all of his clothes were drenched through and through. And the assistant kind of made maybe a snide remark, or even just a shrug with the shoulders, like, "Oh my gosh, this guy can't hold it in. He's sweating crazy." And the Rebbe Maharash turned to him, even though he wasn't saying it directly to him. It was he was saying this on the side. He said, "You know what? You can go home. You're relieved of your duties. I'll continue to pay you, but you don't belong here. Why? Because you don't understand what it means to be a Rebbe and see somebody in Yechidus." And the Rebbe Maharash explained, in order for me to help them, I have to go to pay you, but you don't belong here. Why? Because you don't understand what it means to be a Rebbe and see somebody in Yechidus. And the Rebbe Maharash explained, when I see somebody and they pour their heart out to me and they tell me their problems, in order for me to help them, I have to go take off my clothing, so to speak, my vision of the world, and put myself in their shoes and really experience what that person is feeling.
And then once I've brought myself there, then I have to switch over to another role, which is to be the Rebbe and actually offer advice. And every single person that comes in here, I have to go through that process again and again and again. And that work is extremely tiresome. It really wears me out. And yes, I sweat a lot because of that. Which is a profound lesson. Of course, most of us are not going to be sweating buckets from talking to somebody. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we